Let the minutes reflect that we have 4 board members present, with Mrs. Renee Farley dialing in on the phone. Invocation and pledge of allegiance. Mr. Brady, would you do the honors?
Father, thank you so much for giving us another day. Thank you, Lord, for your many blessings bestowed upon us. Father, we just always want to thank you, Lord, for the health and strength that you give us day to day to go about our daily tasks. Father, we thank you for all the folks that are here tonight. Show the desire to the importance of going to the business of Summers County, Lord. We just pray you can go with us tonight as we go through this agenda. There's lots of important discussions to be had, and I pray, Father, for your guidance and wisdom for each bullet that's here. We pray, Lord, these things in Jesus' name. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So we're down to item 4 on the agenda, presentation. Oh, I'm sorry, number 3, approval of agenda and adjustments. We have, yeah, I'm trying to recall it all again, so we're trying to,
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as written.
we have one adjustment.
Okay.
We need to strike
So
one.
we're going, for personnel items number 9, under athletic coaches, we're gonna strike Jonathan Dow. So can I have a motion for that adjustment?
I'll make a motion that we strike Johnson Downey from the agenda.
Second. Have a motion by Mr. Brady, seconded by Mr. McBride, to strike Jonathan Downey from the personnel items under athletic coaches. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstaining? The record reflect by a 5-0 vote that motion to strike Jonathan Downey from the agenda has been approved. Now, Mr. Brady.
I will move, that we approve the agenda with the aforementioned change.
A motion by Mr. Brogan, seconded by Mrs. Harvey, to approve the agenda with the aforementioned change. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained. The minutes reflect by a 5-0 vote that the agenda has been approved with adjustments. All right, now the presentations. Mr. Pugh.
He's not here. You can go right to FFA. It's only one tonight. The others couldn't make it as well.
Okay, do we want to put those on the next agenda?
Yes,
Okay.
definitely. I think with school starting, everybody going to open houses, has been busy for all those people, so we'll get them on the next, or next, month. But the FFA is here to give an update on their awards and the big roads.
So we are ready for the FFA's presentation.
As always, we got a bunch of little nervous souls here with us this evening, so they always ask me, Duffield, can you get started? I always have to do that, so, always proud to brag about my students and their achievements. Our summertime was pretty action-packed, and I'm gonna say that we're very excited that it was action-packed, because the past few summers have been kind of sad, you know, with the pandemic and COVID and things being cut back and numbers reduced, so summer was extra special. Especially for someone like Greg, you know, some of my seniors are, this is probably the last time Greg will have his FFA jacket on. So his time as an FFA member was not as spectacular as it should have been, let me say that. So to see this one last fantastic summer and to share these experiences with you, it's just a wonderful thing. And I'm gonna let them do the talking. They think that I'm gonna talk to them. I'm gonna let them do the talking. And if you have any questions, please ask away. They need help on those public speaking skills. We'll try to work this.
So this year, we were blessed to go to the state convention and do a couple things up there. We were able to take 11 members
Which some was their first adventure with FFA.
and some their last. So some of the members got to be on the delegate, and which they got to vote for presidents, vice presidents, secretaries, stuff like that, and they represented us, and they represented our region.
We had Big Ray, received his award down there, his honorary state degree, and that is the highest degree that a non-FFA member can get in the state of West Virginia.
And it has to be nominated by someone in the FFA world. You just can't be like, hey, I want that. It's pretty prestigious.
We have 3 members, get their state degree. You got Greg Ames over there, Daryl Sharp, and, Jacob Ferguson, which them 2 ain't here today with us. But we're really proud for them to represent us, getting their state degree.
Daryl has gone on to Bluefield State. He's active there. He's in the electrical engineering program. And Jacob is he went to work today, correct?
Yeah, he got home.
And he's going on to computer science, computer programming. He's going on to college for that.
We also had, we went up there and participated in state tractor driving, competition, which, 2 of us placed second, one for the zero return competition, and one of us for the state tractor driving big tractor driving competition, which both of us received awards for that.
Good news about second place is when you get to come back, is that puts a little bit of driving force behind you, a little more thirst for that first place. So that's what we're striving for next year. The sad thing is that was your last year, the last time you're on that tractor, the last time in 4 years of your FFA career, that you take your jacket off. That's it. You know, that's it. So, you know, so there's some pros and some cons to that. It's good if you've got another year. It's just devastating if it's your last and final hurrah.
Just curious, what qualifies as a large tractor?
They're 50 horsepower tractor or bigger.
And I don't know if any of you ever backed up a wagon. So they actually back up 4-wheel wagon in a very high area.
With a wall in front of that area.
You never thought of it before you-
Yeah.
So I think the challenge was vintage tractor. They had a almost lawnmower tractor.
Yeah, we had a New Holland, which you can tell is me on the photo, of the tractor. You got 2 inches on each side on the wagon and 2 inches in the back. That's what you got to back it in. It's pretty tight.
And whenever they get awards, it's not just them going up on stage, getting their award, getting a picture. It means something to us, and it means to
When you're at state convention, like Aiden said, you're amongst all the FFA members in the state of West Virginia. So when your name gets called, and you get to grace that stage, it's pretty spectacular. It's not just, you know, oh, yeah, here you go. It's an honor. It really means something.
So, Gabe, Aiden and I made it to the States for tractor driving. And we brought Trenton along with us to give him a little bit more driving force to go the right way next time.
He doesn't like that joke.
Mama?
Not gonna tell that story, because it's uncomfortable. You'll be there next year.
Obviously, Big Greg got the honorary FFA degree.
And that was quite a surprise.
Even though his frame was broken on it,
We were also very disappointed. He's like, well, let me read you the real speech I wrote.
yeah,
They
they cut off
chopped his
half of it.
speech, and so we were understanding, but let me read you the real speech I wrote. Very impressed.
So, me, Jacob, and Daryl got the state degree. And it's important because it helps, it looks good on college applications, looks good on job applications. There's some scholarships out there that you can't get without it. And it took 4 years of SAEs, ATE to get this. 4 years of the agriculture science class to get this.
And again, it's the highest honor that an FFA member can receive in the state of West Virginia. So they're very picky about who they have to be. You have to have the records on point, which we're gonna talk about later. So, they just don't hand these out.
During our annual Summer of the Pig Roast, we had Senator Baldwin visit us, which was a very much honor to have someone of that big of power come to visit us.
It's pretty funny, I think Gabe's like, who's that guy? Just know he's important. I'm explaining. Serve food, just know he's important. How
He has
long
been
is-
a big supporter for years.
Absolutely, yeah. Roy Cooper was also there as well. We're always so busy, it's kind of hard to stop and like.
And some of the commissioners as well.
Even though it was raining half the day, people still came out and supported us. And it was fun.
It's hard.
Yeah, it was hot too. It takes 3 days to make the famous FFA pork sandwich. 3 long days of cooking, pulling, waiting for it to finish. Now we're done. Yeah, we're good.
So, SAE is a big part of FFA because it shows what we do as FFA and how we use FFA, not just in school, but outside of school.
You can't have two without the other. We showed you the FFA. We showed you the instruction. And now we're gonna show you the SAE. So the supervised agriculture experience is anything that can tie back to agriculture. From Dairy Queen, making ice cream at Dairy Queen,
Ties back to dairy production.
to working at GoMart, or natural resources, and either working on a little hobby farm or working on someone else's farm. people normally think of. But,
Even snuck a big dragon.
yeah, we managed to get him.
I will just say I was in air conditioning there and Greg was not. I got a little cold. Air conditioning there.
SAEs aren't really, they don't pertain to, farms. They could be cutting wood, taking care of other people's cattle and, splitting wood, like in that picture. You can sit there and, do all the things you need to do out there in the summertime and just sit there, work around, and do things that, that the agriculture experience.
I wanna add that, when other kids look forward to having their summers off or going to the beach, that's all a part of summer's vacation. When you take an ag class, you understand that you have to do an SAE. It doesn't have to always be summer, but it usually is, because that's when they have the most time, that's when agriculture is most productive. And they have to keep records on that in an AET program, which is so fun, isn't it, guys?
Amazing.
Amazing. That's sarcasm, by the way. So they take a lot of pride, and it's self-paced, and it's self-chosen. It's driven by their desires, their career choices in life, what they like, what they dislike. You're gonna see some of that in some of the other. So,
And SAE doesn't always have to be in the summer. It can be in the winter too, when people are splitting wood, selling wood, putting out hay. And it can go from welding projects that don't always look the best, but you gotta start somewhere, to working at Dairy Queen or Go-Mart. And fixing broken down trucks, and you need to pull the hay in.
I think it's a cool, isn't it, photo?
First one I ever worked on. Normally Chevrolets. That's just a normal thing for me to fix.
All OSHA approved photos, by the way, 100%.
We had OSHA look them over. So
The seed on the wood splitter there.
and motor grants also pertains to an SAE.
I believe that's, we'll mention there in one or.
I was hot, sweat dripping down my face.
Pulling fence or pulling fence in the summer.
Breaking your dad's fence pole, driver, and on the back of the other.
Working with animals.
Like we said, either your animals or someone else's animals.
That's not that
Feed 'em. And also blacksmithing pertains to this, working at Coliseum, just messing around at the farm. But it's,
Even taking a beautiful sunset picture from the other day.
You can't live on a farm without having a couple sunset pictures in your photo gallery, right? Sure, we went to the Angie Farm, how many pictures we take out there? Oh, you had graduation
we
pictures
did,
up
yeah,
there, right?
we got graduation pictures up there.
This is all our family members at the state convention.
All of them.
The pictures are always special, because every academic chapter has their jacket, with their chapter on the back, so that classic, like, back of the jacket picture is always very memorable for these kids to remember that, and especially for the ones that are leaving us and graduating. This, again, that's usually their last time, when we leave here, that's the last time they ever have that jacket on.
And it's special for the ones that just started going with us.
They finally get to see the life, they finally get to see what real, agriculture and interfaith experiences are.
And I also want to mention this picture was taken at this lovely place called Cedar Lake. I would advise y'all go to it if you can. But they have wonderful food over there.
Solid vintage.
3 lakes. It's beautiful.
It's definitely worth every run.
It is.
Everything you do, remember.
Here's
Yeah, we love it.
If you don't have any questions,
You've done several.
We're in Clapton State Park with a transit over here. Did everything from working heavy machinery, running heavy machinery, taking care of the golf course, fixing water lines. Anything you name it, it's been done. That one of my favorites.
Mine would probably have to be feeding cows. I love cows. Mine would be working at everything over the summer.
Me working at Classroom City on the road. Definitely a good trip. Teach you a lot of stuff.
I think mine would be cut hay.
Mine would be splitting wood, selling it. I mean, sitting there, just having experience, running chainsaws and sitting there meeting new people and
I think that's one of the aspects that gets lost. People skills are getting in short supply. These kids, when they leave, they have people skills in the greenhouse when they leave, they have people skills on pork sandwiches, and they have people skills on their own work in their SAE. So learning how to deal with the public and communicate effectively with people is a very, very important life skill that a lot of times we forget to talk about because we get all excited about chainsaw captures and our FFA jackets. So even here, they were talking and conversing and comparing SAEs and tractor driving scores with other FFA members. Again, it's people skills that you don't always get. When you get out of your friend group, it gets a little awkward at times. So getting out and about is very important because again, it's a lost skill. Because you can just send off a text message. You don't have to talk to anybody. But you really do. You really do in real life.
In this class, Duffield has taught me a lot about talking to people the last 4 years of this agriculture science class.
I do want to say one more thing. All these other family members in the show right here are here for reading.
They had learned to go to this. We didn't just say, do y'all wanna come? They had to do stuff to go.
practices for tractor driving, sitting out there in the sun,
Working places.
How would you all like to see the program grow in the future?
Like to get a lot bigger,
One of those.
more opportunities.
Same thing. It's definitely fun.
it's like our second family pretty much.
They deserve second family.
Many people get these experiences, and we're glad to have them. Any more questions?
That have been around for a little while. We've been able to see and develop those people skills that you're talking about. Done a good job.
Thank you.
Talk much. There you go.
And I'll just say, they have represented our county system well at the state convention that all leadership conferences. I've somewhat become a resident chaperone, maybe, I don't know what you would call me, but, this group of kids in this photo, they're special to me because I've kind of watched my son grow up with them, but, we didn't have any trouble. What were we there, 3, 4 days? I didn't see anyone have a crossword to anyone else. They're just very respectful to each other and their peers. Just a great group of students.
It's cool to go to the state convention. You can not know any of those kids there, and just talk to them about it and have a conversation. I don't even know them, but it's like you.
Take pictures with them.
Yeah, we did adopt one more.
Well, this isn't applause for applause, but let's applause for applause. backdrop.
Thank you. Okay, we're at item number 5 now, public comments. Okay, item 6, approval of minutes. We have 2 sets of minutes. Packet, we have the July 26th regular meeting as well as the August 9th.
Make a motion, we approve the minutes for both dates.
Motion by Mr. Brogan, seconded by Mr. McBride, to approve the minutes for July 26th and and August 9th, regular meetings. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Any abstained? Let the record reflect by 5-0 vote. The minutes for July 26th and August 9th have been approved. Approval of bills. We have the bills before us.
This is the first one, Mr. Brogan doesn't have to leave.
So have a motion on the bills.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills.
Second. Motion by Mr. McBride, seconded by Mrs. Harvey. Sorry, man. Any discussion on the bills? Say all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstained? Renee, did you vote? Did I hear you? Okay, sorry. Let the record reflect by a 5-0 vote that the bills have been approved. Great. Item number 9, new business. We have approval for purchase over $20,000. First one is TDS Properties. These are Dutch Barns for Jumping Bridge and Talcott. This is a community in the schools grant. That's going to cover the entire cost of those community in the schools grant.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's for, we're growing our program, which is a good headache. So, more room, this is the best way to do it, and we use that money, which is perfectly fine too. So if anybody tries to use that barn other than the community schools, Ms. Hudson will take care of it.
All right. We also have the Learning Environment LLC cafeteria tables for the high school, cost $26,668.
Yeah, we, don't have those in like everything else we've ordered, it's on back order, but we have enough tables and chairs to provide our kids at this point in time, but it'll be close to probably Thanksgiving by the time we get them. I mean, it's about 60 to 90 days out, that's what they tell us.
And they'll be similar to these tables.
They'll be exactly like these eight seaters, orange and black.
And then the last bill, item, new business item 3, Gravel and Shores LLC, Flat Roof at Jumping Bridge, cost $74,340.
Yeah, that flat roof, we knew the shingle roof was bad, we knew the flat roof was bad, but at this point in time, working with Charlie and Mr. Metter, we have, we just can't take another rain. We've had a wet summer and we have issues there and it is bad. And we gotta fix it. This is an emergency situation. We try to get people to do work, but flat roofs are a specialty, and we don't have many people, knocking on our door because they're doing with other facilities. Mr. Butcher at the ESC, we try to use him to help us out. We have a tips that we can order off of at state bid, no bite. And he sent me an email to make a confirmation that I received no bug. So just to let you know, we vetted it, we tried to get people, but nobody's interested. This is an emergency situation, we need to get it fixed now. We already have Mr. Brent Jones, he's gonna do the shingles in September. This company, if this gets approved, they said they'd get on it, what, in the next month or two?
Said last week of September.
Last week of September, okay.
So I did go up and look at the roof today. Places inside the building, you can see daylight. And I did, meet with Mr. Matter as well. I asked him a few questions while we were there, and for transparency's sake, I'm gonna ask some of those again.
Sure.
get this estimate, the warranty or what we should expect out of this roof?
Well, the warranty, it's not a traditional warranty such as 10 years or 15 years or 20 years. And I anticipated that question, and I want to know the answer as well. So I contacted Mr. Shores from Bravo and Shores, and he basically stated that there's two different warranties, which is not uncommon. There's a manufacturer's warranty, which basically is the sealant that will go on the foam, and I can explain the system if you'd like. And then there's the installation warranty, which basically states that, you know, he is going to paint, for lack of a better word, or put the sealant down, and it will be done as to manufacturer's recommendation. So if there is a future, or if there is a problem in the future, it's assessed by both the manufacturer and the installer to see where the fault lies. And the way I took it, it's indefinite, and but there was really not a time frame specified, and I just don't think it's something that company does. I know it's a little unique, but that's how it was explained to me. So.
And then, as far as with this going out for bid, I've been doing a little reading, I'm trying to get a little more versed on some of the policies. The 5,200, it talks about bids for anything over 50,000. 80, yeah, that's all right.
He said that.
Okay, 8,200,
You don't
yeah.
Understand.
No, it's okay. It wasn't 8,200, so over 50,000, so if you can explain what you did as far as putting this out.
So basically, we look at this as an emergency situation. This roof was looked at a few months ago, but over the last, I would say, month and a half, it's gotten worse. To the point where you can see daylight in one section of the building. So we got on it. I basically contacted three individuals, three companies that does this specific type of roof. It's not necessarily the rubber flat roof that you may be used to. I'll explain that in a minute. But bottom line is, three companies, three similar companies. One company I received a bid from. That's what you have in your packet. One company did email me back and said, we're just too busy right now, we can't get to it. And the other company failed to respond. But this type of roof is basically, they leave the rubber roof that's on there. They put it's a 7/16 inch, basically plywood. They call it a zip system. It's kind of a weatherproof wooden plyboard. And they put it down all over the structure. Then where the seams are located of the plyboard, they put a weatherproof tape on. And then they spray it with a 2-inch foam. And after the 2-inch foam is sprayed, they put this epoxy, and it's painted white on top of the roof. And the beauty of this is about 5 to 7 years, our maintenance team can reapply the sealant to secure the roof. So in essence, it's good for now on. Versus a rubber roof, which, I mean, you're going to have to eventually replace. But that's the product that we have. So, but I talked with Lauren, talked with Mr. Warble, and we deemed this as an emergency situation. There are roofs, evidence of leaks, and it's steadily getting worse. You also notice in this estimate, there is a section that states in phase 2, install PVC drain sleeve in the flat roof interior wall drain is needed. We think we have another issue. Flat roofs have to drain. And this flat roof drains through the building into a wall cavity, and then it exits the building. So we're going to take down an interior wall to correct any type of leakage that might be coming from that drain pipe. And that's included in this, is not the excavation or the tearing down of the wall, but the fixing of the pipe inside. So
It's not necessarily tearing that wall down.
well, no, it's just cutting it out and repairing. I mean, we'll repair it, but we got to be able to see what's going on. So
You might mention also on that, the 6 or 7 years down the road, that it being a different color.
Oh, yeah, that was a good, well, it's gonna be painted white. So between year 5 and year 7, you're looking at any deterioration from that epoxy, from that resin. And then once you decide to paint the roof again, you paint it a different color. And what they do is they recommend a gray. So at the end of the next 5 to 6 years, as you start seeing that white paint as the gray fades, then that tells you now we need another coat of this material. Right now, it's about $200, $5-gallon bucket, and a 5-gallon bucket covers about 1,000 square foot. And those flat roofs are approximately together 6,700 square feet. So, what, $1,400 or so if we were to do that today. And that's an in-house thing. So that saves the initial cost. We save on the initial cost because we're not putting the rubber roof down. And then long-term, you save costs by having your maintenance team put that epoxy down.
$1,500 every 5, 6, 7 years. It's a beautiful thing in one place.
I just think it's more places are doing it, and I think it's something that we can employ in other flat roofs in the county.
Yeah, because the next one we have to address, we're not out of the woods yet, our CTE starting at the weight room. I mean, I'd like to review it all, but the weight room area, we'll call it that for right now, is less square footage than Jumping Branch. So I'm hoping when this company's done, for a while they're doing it, they'll give us an estimate, and then we'll try to get more estimates at that point. But there's quite a bit of leakage coming through that, but at this point in time, that is not an asbestos building. Our asbestos building was a middle school, but now the biggest one is Jumping Branch. Just because the age of it, and that's not saying it's a bad thing because asbestos is in it, as long as you don't get water on it, and then it flakes off. So right now, this is an emergency situation. We budgeted this year around $150,000 to fix roofs. So right now, Jumping Branch just ate $100,000 at $150,000. Now, we have $50,000 more that we might apply to the CP, but we're gonna be, at this point in time, with the estimations that I have, we're probably $20,000 short of that. That's just, you know, I'm just saying, guesstimating, I don't know until they come in, and you're right, I mean, products right now are 40 to 70% higher right now. It's ridiculous. That's why I go back to the SBA for $3 more million. So, you know, this needs to be done.
Is this a new roof or is it a patch?
I would say new roof, and here's why I would say new roof, because, I mean, we're not taking the rubber off. No, the rubber is in place. The plywood goes over the entire 2 sections of the flat roof, and then the weatherproof tape, and then the epoxy all over both sections. So in essence, I guess that's how you wanna say new. I mean, we're not, what?
New roof over and over.
New roof over an old roof. So, I'm not sure if that answered your question, Ms. Harper.
And so we have everything, as far as this being an emergency document, to cover us for anything.
We discussed that today. We feel confident in that judgment.
I'm not worried about that. People want our children to get wet, and they see through, we have a skylight that's not a skylight.
It shouldn't be there.
No, you literally can see, man. And Charlie has said this has been patched more than he can remember back, and, you know, Charlie, once he starts saying, guys, it needs more help, it's not like Charlie couldn't do the work. It gets to the point where you need professional help to do it right, and have a warranty on it. Now, the warranty is very, much like when you build a house, you have a warranty on that house for about 1 year. When it goes into month 13, 14, 15, if something goes, it's really the owner at that point in time. But having said that, this company, I think, is pretty reputable.
So on that, have they given us examples of other places that they've installed this roof on?
I don't have any specifics, but they have done this work before. I don't have any specifics for
Company
you.
similar to this one in Fayette County, when we put it down, it ends up looking like snow. Because when they put that stuff down in the summertime, when they did it when I was working here at the bus garage, there was white flakes coming off. It just looks like snow. But what they do is when they put that down, it's amazing how quickly it seals. We did have a couple places in that bus garage because of skylights, so they get more light, because when you have a big bus garage, when you have 125 drivers, so it's a little bit different. It's a bigger bus garage. There was leaks around the skylights. They came, they didn't argue about it, and they fixed it. They honor their stuff. These companies, this is a newer way of dealing with flat roofs, because the flat roof over here, you can literally pick it up like pieces of paper. It's not even adhered anymore, it's that bad. And the company that looked at this, that you have a packet of information, I emailed you plus a hard copy tonight, it came back through here in February. The guy was able to see the serial number on it, and said this was done in 91 or 92.
Yeah, the flat
I mean,
roofs,
he pretty much knew everything about the material, so we're dealing with 30 to 40-year-old roofs right now in this county. Probably the newest roof might even be Talkett Gym versus Talkett Elementary. It's a close one between those two.
And then you mentioned they'll start estimate around last week of September.
I talked to Mr. Shores this morning, and he said last week, September.
And how long would they estimate it?
The question is, Harvey, I do not know that. I would say up to a week. I would say a week, but that's just kind of guessing. I can find that out for you.
I would say they'd have it done in a week. I mean, it's not here in Big, but I was around. I don't think they.
I mean, I think the longest portion of that project would be putting down the plywood.
Well, the
Because
other
once
issue could be
you
weather.
take this, I mean, you're right at that point, you're blowing the insulation. I mean, you're spraying the insulation, and I'm assuming spraying the epoxy or red. That could be brushed on. I wouldn't think a long period of time.
We had 5 days in a row that were dry, but remember the last time that happened in the state? We've had a lot of good rain.
And so, the two buildings, I'm gonna back up here, the two buildings are great, the cafeteria tables are being paid for from the.
That's our county money, isn't it?
Child
Or
nutrition,
through the food program, right?
child nutrition.
Okay, and this roof as well as the shingle roof. county.
Yeah, so you might as well go federal, county. To be simplistic.
Any more questions?
I will make the motion that we approve all three purchases that we have before us that are over $20,000.
Have a motion by Mr. Brody, second by Mr. McBride to approve the three purchases of $20,000. Any more conversation, discussion regarding these? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained. Let the record reflect by a 5-0 vote that the purchase of $20,000 has been approved. Section under new business. Discussion of possible action regarding approval of the following policies. The drug testing of students, Roman numeral 7-A-4, and Roman numeral 6-D-1, AP and college bureaucrat for high school students.
There was only one comment for drug testing of students, and none of the public comments.
And the recommendation we received was possibly leave it attaching, or from the line, attaching the consent form.
Yes.
Okay, so, we need a motion we need to do these separately. So the first one, we need a motion for 7-A-4 drug testing of students, to leave that one on review.
I'll make a motion to do 7A-4 on review.
to leave 7-A-4, drug testing of students, on review. Any discussion? All in favor,
Mr.
say
Rainey.
aye.
Roll.
Discussion.
The agenda says approval, Ms. Rankin. I'm looking at the right thing.
Possible action regarding approval.
They're gonna leave that one.
Oh, gotcha, okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Sorry.
Thank you. You're good.
Was that 5-0? You get over there.
5-0.
Okay.
All right, and now we'll take up 6-D-1, AP College Dual Credit for high school students. Motion? This is for approval.
I'll make a motion to approve this policy.
I'll second.
There's a motion by Mr. McBride, second by Mr. Brady, to approve 6-D-1 AP and College Dual Credit for high school students. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Abstained? Against, reflect by 5-0 vote that 6-D-1 AP and College Dual Credit for high school students has been approved. C, discussion of possible action to approve the MOU between Summers County Schools and Concord University for the Grow Your Own program to train future teachers.
What you guys have in front of you is, it's a Concord, one pager, one side, and then you have the state, the front and back. We've gone over the state with you front to back before. It's this one. This is the state, Grow Your Own. This is Concord working with Summers County Schools to make sure it gets implemented. The plane that we're on is being built as we're flying it, and I know people don't like hearing that statements, but that's what we're dealing with this school year. This academic year, this is a new Grow Your Own program. It started out with about 14 counties, then other counties jumped in, and now we're up to about almost a little over half of the state, 30-some. So, basically, we're working with Concord. This is the MOU at this point in time to make sure we get what we need to match what the state's asking us to do. There's theory and there's reality, and we'll have feedback throughout the whole state. We've already did an electronic copy with the state of West Virginia to do an MOU to make sure we're working with the university. We were working with Marshall, but it's just hard to deal with Marshall and with Concord. Concord realistically is where our students will go, not that we don't like Marshall, but from our understanding is if the student is in this program, that should reciprocate to any other school in the state of West Virginia, because we're all in the same boat hurting for teachers. But we do have some serious candidates that want to do this. This will help them get their college paid for, and then when they come back their senior year to do their student teaching, they can get paid up to 60% of what a teacher would get paid. I know when I did my student teaching, it was all out of pocket. There was no reimbursement, no pay. I think this is a good deal to start getting recruiting kids, because if you look at it, we have quite a few. We are full up with our positions, but we are asking our retired educators to come back in the classroom, and nothing against them, but as you get older, that's just an awful lot for you to take on after you put yourself in a career of 30 to 40 years, and we're asking 75-year-old people to help out, and I appreciate that, and like Ms. Harvey said, we need people to show up, but at the end of the day, we also need to recruit these young, talented people and tell them, go into teaching, we want you back here. So I know we have 3 young ladies that were highly interested when they came to the meeting, so we're gonna see 3, 5, might even be more this school year, we don't know, but I know there's 3, possibly 5 that are real serious about this program. So basically, this is very generic, as you can see, but really, this MOU is gonna probably change as we move forward, because something's gonna come up that we weren't sure of. Yeah, and it's not a big deal because the state's gonna work with us. That's why I'm sharing you this again, because this is a template, this is what we're gonna try to make happen. So you got theory and reality, give us this year and we'll figure it out, we'll give you more information on it, and possibly have Dr. Hawks from Concord come, someone from the university come and report out how it's.
So, just so I understand, the MOU states that just the Concord will accept these courses.
And no Yeah, and they're gonna be doing a lot of the legwork to help us out with this, because at the end of the day, we only have so many highly qualified people, and they have the resources to help us with this program. And they're gonna be working with Southern West Virginia, so we're all basically in that same pool together, the southern part of West Virginia.
And will they take these courses as, is it gonna be set up like a CTE class, or will it just, these are just the classes they need to take?
It's both, because we haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
It's all on paper.
Like you said, you got 30 some other counties haven't figured out the same.
Yeah, eventually like to know. Yeah. And we're gonna be meeting, I think, Mr. Kuhn, you have a teams meeting tomorrow with the state and other counties. So this is an ongoing, and we'll keep you guys up to date as we move forward. There's no money out of our pocket. It's only money going into the kids' pocket because it pays for the college. So that's a win for our students. Even if they won't come back here, that's okay. We gotta get teachers. The idea is to get them back here.
For these classes that we're offering now, or when will this be in?
This school year. Not with complete fidelity, because if you're a senior in high school, we're looking at these kids, if you're a freshman and working your way up. You know, with these seniors right now in the state, you can't catch up, you're caught in the middle, basically, junior and senior. But if you're a sophomore, freshman, you might be able to get this done like it is on paper. But that's just, you have to start somewhere.
So it looks to me, and I'm just looking over this list of classes, these are, and these dual credit classes, but still, these would be classes that a student would take here, and we have 4 classes required for the Grow Your Own.
And the thing that's nice about this is, as we move forward between us and other counties and the universities, there might be other ideas that spring up to make it expedited even quicker to help these people out to pay for their college. You know, that's the good news about it.
So item C, discussion of possible action for the MOU between Summers County and Concord. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve this, to Summers County.
Second. A motion by Mr. McBride, second by Mr. Brogan, to approve the MOU between Summers County Schools and Concord University for the Grow Your Own program. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, abstained. Minutes reflect by 5-0 vote that the MOU between Summers County Schools and Concord for the Grow Your Own has been approved. D, discussion of superintendent and board of education goals. I asked Mr. Wool just to put this on the agenda so that we would have it on our radar. I also asked him to send a copy of the policy to everyone, like superintendent goals. Just wanted to make you all aware of the deadline of September 15th, that we have to have that done by, so we need to do this at our next board meeting. So if you get a chance to put it on there, just read through that policy, become familiar with it, and then we will, at our next board meeting, we will, talk about your goals and also the Board of Education goals. Any further comments? No action needs to be taken on that one. Okay. E, discussion of possible action to pay Ms. Duffield prep time to teach intro to ag at the cost of the daily rate per planning period.
How we came up with this is, you can call it an unintended consequence, but a couple years ago, legislation said by July 1 of last year, we need to make sure our middle school students get exposed to CTE classes. When that happens, it's a natural fit here because they're already here, so we don't worry about travel time or anything like that. But you have to wonder what classes could be moved around. And an unintended consequence was, when I talked to Mr. Angel, was our our freshman students wouldn't be able to, and we get the eighth grade, junior high kids, but then we have freshman kids, almost like it's a lag year, and it's hard to catch up to get it done in 4 years, so, what Mr. Hudgens did was talk to Ms. Duffield, say, if you're willing, would you mind teaching that freshman course? But we would pay the daily rates per policy, and she accepted. And she's here, if she wants to stay otherwise, but
Nothing else to do, right?
Now, will that will be offered during a period where, it's not gonna be offered during a period where I guess a core class would be taught, correct?
it's her prep time, I don't know her prep time. When's her prep time?
Fourth period.
So fourth period would be the freshman ag. Yep.
And, we have core classes there?
We probably do, but here's the thing, this is a better bad decision, because if you start moving around, you're gonna touch everybody else, and you have to be careful on all that. That'll be something for the counselors to work through.
Hey, guys, sorry to interrupt. We worked it out since then. We actually don't need to pay her for that period. We're good. Right, Ms. Duffy?
I'm pretty sure we've come up with a pretty solid plan.
Yeah, the ninth graders will be able to take intro to ag with the 10th graders, seventh period.
Seventh period.
Well, there's no action, so I guess we're going, right?
The only issue that we had was, if you cut it off this end, you're still lacking on this end. So what's come up missing now is there's no longer a senior class. So what's had to happen is my seniors are like thrown in with my juniors now, like, so they're sitting in a class that they've already had, but we visit otherwise. So that's the issue now. So we have fixed the ninth grade issue, then we're just gonna put it over the 10th.
That's why I said what I said earlier, because if you do something to one end,
Yeah.
it's like an algebra problem, you have to fix it on the other side of that equation. It's very complicated.
So I think
Okay.
we fixed it for this year.
Yeah, it's fixed for this year, yes.
Next year could be a different story.
Yeah, we might need to yeah, exactly. We might need to revisit this in the future, but this year we have it taken care of.
All right, duly noted. Thank you all.
F, discussion of possible action regarding approval of an SBA project for contract for Radford for the middle school edition with a bid of $10,535,000.
Basically, this long sheet of paper that you have, this is what McKinley does when they come in. They have everybody sign up, they're sealed bids, they all did it by 1:30, you see that top left-hand corner. And then what McKinley does is, they check off to make sure everybody meets the requirements. Everybody did meet the requirements. This is, notes from either myself or one of the directors, but regardless, the end result is you can see what the bids were. And, McKinley, has sent a letter to Radford and SBA notices that this is what the final low bid was. They've accepted this bid, and they've also handed this county a few more $1 million. So we are ready to start this project next month. Now, if you ask me how soon, I don't know yet, because once you guys approve this, and that paperwork has been submitted to Radford by McKinley, they've already received it, says you won, as long as you approve it, then we're moving. And we'll have a groundbreaking ceremony, and we'll have shovels in the ground by the end of the month, not of August, but next month. And it'll take 15 months to complete, because they're not sure of all the products, because, they just don't know if they can do everything in a timely fashion, so that's why it's 15 months versus maybe, we'll say, half that time, because it's just hard to know with all the products that are on back order, especially HVAC stuff. Anything with HVAC is really backed up, 6 to 9 months to get your HVAC system, so, this has been very time consuming, but I think it's well worth it once we get this new facility up to speed. It's very exciting, guys. So, nobody had to raise your taxes here. This has been a nice gift by the school building authority, and want to thank them publicly for helping us. And I'd like to invite them here for any groundbreaking or ribbon cutting ceremony, because we do appreciate them providing quite a bit of money, almost $12 million to this county for a middle school addition. And we did not, they saw us kind of a pain. I didn't make cuts. I couldn't weren't gonna go back on square footage, we had to keep what we had to keep. Some things we did cut, like this room here, they had 270,000. We did this in-house for less than 10 grand. So sometimes you just gotta wiggle room some things out and look at some stuff and say, that's a little much there. Other stuff, I can only go on what the firms tell me and other people that I've talked to, say basic price right now is 40 to 70% higher than the normal price has been, so. That's all I have to report. If you guys have any questions, I'll answer those about this process.
So what would be the next step after this gets approved?
You get ready for a groundbreaking ceremony.
Will there be a work for the works?
That's all in the process right now. That is out right now in the newspapers. We do have one person that's interested who sent me an email, but we are looking for a clerk of the work. So if you're a general contractor and you wanna be here to help keep an eye on things, they can apply too. So, we just gotta take those applications. When I say, that's your McKinley.
Is that a low bid thing?
You bid on that, yeah, yeah. But it's public knowledge, right now, they are projecting it's gonna cost about 100,000 for clerk of the works.
That's for the full.
That's for the full.
Even if it goes over, it takes 2 years.
It can't take 2 years, it's gotta take 15 months. They're on the clock, never. Nope, we hold to that. Yeah. So anyway, there's 10.535. Let's knock this out, guys, I'm ready.
I'll make that motion. We approve the contract for Rapid and Rapid for 10.
Have a motion by Mr. Burton, seconded by Mrs. Harvey, to approve the SBA project with contractor Radford and Radford for the middle school addition for $10,535,000. Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, abstaining, minutes reflect by a 5-0 vote that the contract, or that we approved the project with Radford and Radford for the middle school addition. Item 9, personnel items. We have before us the employment professional, employment service, employment extracurricular for athletic coaches, employment substitute teachers, and employment homebound teachers. These are all been posted as required. So, just a question on these, so for these, so the first two for professional service, I see effective dates. What about the extracurricular athletic coaches and substitute teachers, do they have effective dates on those?
You talking about the athletic coaches, right?
Well, so these have effective dates here, and effective date here, we don't have effective dates, so are they effective as of today?
Yeah, some of these people that, we need to make sure, like, if you look at the recall, these are very timely because of how policy works with our law book. You need to put down effective dates for these people, like these coaches here, this is just when their season comes in to play.
What about the extracurricular or extra youth professional and the substitute teacher?
That's just when school starts, so we're good to go.
And then are these, as far as the professional and employment for substitute service, professional, these are all state standard.
Yeah, everything has to be state scale tested.
Motion for the superintendent's recommendation for employment.
Make a motion to approve the superintendent's recommendation.
Jason, we'll give it. So we have
exciting to see that we are accepting a softball coach. And we can now get some young ladies out for softball, and we have that nice athletic facility, they got nice batting cage. They can start, if you're just a softball player only, guess what, you start working out there now. So that's good for our community. My superintendent report's gonna be real simplistic tonight. We have our first day of school tomorrow, I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but, our open houses were well attended. Tonight, Mr. Hudgens, I think, told over 700 people came tonight. That's exciting. Now, that includes parents and students, a mix. But that's exciting to open our doors and people coming in and wanting to get back to whatever normal is. But I do want to thank my central office staff. They work their tails off. A lot of people think, what do you do in the summer? Well, we hurry up and get to this day tomorrow. We worked hard to get all these positions filled. We've negotiated with people. We've even worked on Mrs. Jeffries to say, which building would you like to teach if we can bring you back? And you guys think I'm joking, but I'm being serious, because I want to bring highly qualified people. She's filling a void for like the freshman math. That's huge, guys. We are covered with our math, and we have performed poorly in past with math scores. I'm looking forward to this school year because our teachers, I'm proud of them, they've got some professional development over the summer. Ms. Holt did something very special, and I want her to come back, I want to steal her thunder, tell you what she did this summer to make her a better math teacher. We've had multiple teachers, jump in and say, what can I do to help these kids? Because they know the deficiencies that these children have on a normal day-to-day basis, let alone COVID, monkeypox, and whatever else you can think about that could possibly come up at this point in time. I do want to thank our custodial staffs. They work their tails off to make sure these buildings are clean. This floor here last week was not waxed. You can look, the baseboards still aren't on there, but that's okay. We're ready. We'll be good. And then the other buildings, we've had all the custodial staff make sure they're ready to go. Very clean buildings, and I'm very proud of all the hard work they've done. Our cooks are ready to go this year. Dr. Knott and Tanya's working with the cooks. I don't think you've taken on this summer yet, in the last 3 summers, feeding every kid that's under the age of 18, even if they're not in our school system. That's the whole county. And now, we will be continuing to feed the kids 2 meals out of the day. We are going to be working with new school scholars to help with a 3rd meal and reach working with a 3rd meal. We have plenty of people we're leaning on to help us because schools can't do it alone. You guys heard me talk about that before. We have hit the ground running, and then Charlie and Frank, we've asked them to do everything, and they've done it. Scott has mowed all the yards, and we've pushed that guy to the end, and even he talked his son into helping him out one day with a foot-long, that goes on an SAE, he got a foot-long for helping weed eat, but you see little things like that people try to get cleaned up. Our custodial staff has power washed the grounds here, out back, and between the community and schools people and our nurses and anybody else that's helped out with the school system, which includes you all, I'm very thankful to be part of a community that says we want to help our children out. So guys, we're ready to go. So this year's team, the squash here, learned something new.
I have to say, this building looks better getting ready to start than I've seen it in a really long time.
That's an expectation now.
And also, when we were at Jumping Branch earlier today, with all the problems that they've got with the roof up there right now, what can look nice, looks really nice.
That was pretty good.
I mean, their floors are immaculate.
I was at the area today as well as down here in
And there was an intern at Jumping Branch, and I don't know that I've ever seen as many people at open houses I have. Today, we pulled in, and my daughter, had volleyball, and my wife was afraid we were late because there were so many cars here, so.
It's been a team effort. I'm proud of the community, and we're moving forward. But I will say that the exciting news too is after this, we're gonna renovate Talkett Gymnasium. We're gonna bring it back to life. If you guys want to, you'll have to talk to Gary Wheeler, but he's ready for donkey basketball. So that's up to that community if they wanna do donkey basketball. But I said, if you do it, I'll take the stubborn donkey, because I know that's what you're gonna do to me anyway, so. But he's all excited about that, and Mr. Metter and I made sure we get Kelly Green.
Ellie Green.
So that's my report. Just want to publicly thank everybody and yourselves for making this happen. We got almost $12 million from the state of West Virginia. Let's use it wisely. Yep.
Item 11, discussion of next agenda, we have Derek Pugh and Tara Skaggs that will move to the next agenda, if they're able to be present for that. And then also, we will appoint the superintendent and the board of governors on the next agenda as well. Do any members have any additional items they would like to add to the next agenda?
I'd like to add, just a discussion about potential project for Jumper Branch School.
Any other items? If not, Jay, yours.
All right, I'll make a motion to adjourn, time is 7:13.
Make